It all begins here.
Hi. Who gives a fuck about my opinion, but you're gonna know after this video what it's like to truly not give a fuck. So, fall 2017 anime. If you're listening to this, maybe you don't know what's good or bad. And I don't either. But hey, these are just predictions, so I guess we're both gonna find out in the coming weeks. And as of right now, basically nothing's came out. I don't know, one episode of Black Clover and Shokugeki no Soma Season 3. So, whatever. Now enough of my dazzling. I'm just gonna go straight to it and say here's the top 3 shit anime of the fall season. Black Clover. And now you might say, oh, you've only seen one episode. Actually, I've seen 0 episodes. I saw like some type of early product like 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago or something. And I guess it's probably the first episode because it just seemed like the first episode. And it was just pretty much shit. Most generic storyline you can possibly imagine. Like Naruto plus Fairy Tale. That's right. Naruto plus Fairy Tale. Doesn't that sound amazing? Oh, let's just give the main character a giant sword too. Whatever. Anyway. So, then you got Keke Sensen and Beyond. Now you might be like, hey, this is one of the most beloved series this season. How bad could it be? Just how bad could it be? Okay, well, a lot of people love the first season, I guess. I watched the whole thing, and I didn't like it from the very beginning, but I watched it all the way through because, hey, same author as the maker of Trigun. So, what the hell? Gotta have good characters at least, right? Well, I don't know how good the characters are because the story was just overwhelmingly random and not important because it was all about the side stories. Great. The first season ended with some emotional stuff that the main character went through with his friends, and I think his friends are not going to be part of the story anymore. I don't know, maybe I'll watch an episode or two, but at the moment, I'm going to say that's going to end up being one of the most disappointing, at least. Maybe not the worst, but most disappointing for sure. Along with, well, Himoto Maori-chan, that's a funny one. But, it'll probably end up being exactly what people want it to be. Juni Taisen, which is 12 Zodiac Warriors who give a crap. I actually reread the first chapter of the manga, and it's literally as generic as it gets from what I can tell. It's just, I don't know, Fate Zero clone, except all the characters are not taking murder seriously. Then after that, we got Gintama. It's going to be more Gintama. It's exactly what you expect. If you don't know what Gintama is, don't start here because it's 6th season, so good luck with catching up on Gintama if that's what you want to do. I'll skip through like all the generic. I'll just say some generic stuff right here that will probably not be memorable whatsoever. So we got here Love Live Season 2. Plenty of people like it. but still pretty generic, I'd say. Code Realize. It's code. It's just got code in it. Has there actually been a good anime with just the code whatever thing in its name? I'm just gonna say no off the top of my head. We got a Silverlink show, and it's called Imoto Sai Ereba E, something like that. And it says, this is the story about the daily life of a young Siscon novelist, Itsuki Hashima, with his perfect little sister, Chihiro, the genius illustrator, Nayuta Kani, his best friend, Miyako Shirakawa, and some insane partners from his publishers. That's the description. I don't know, maybe I'll watch one episode of it. I don't know about... Like, it literally said nothing about the plot and just kind of said, here's the characters. That's all you need, right? But I like a lot of Silverlink stuff, so I'll give that one a shot, I guess. But I don't have much hope for it. And then okay. So, I'm getting too much into it. We'll stick with some of the top shows, or, the more well-known or shows or whatever. So we got the second season of March Comes In Like a Lion. Watch the first season, and if you don't like the first 3 episodes, you probably wouldn't like the rest of it. It's really good, though, I think, just based on how dark and how cheerful it is. It's very diverse in the emotions that it tries to portray. I'm hoping for more of the great soundtrack that we had from the first season. I just really wish that we get a whole new soundtrack, because some of those songs from the first season got a little bit too repetitive, but even though they were really, really good. We also have Dies Array. And it's about, in Berlin, the Red Army raises the Soviet flag. A group of Nazi officers conduct a ritual. Do I have to say any more? I think the animation and art's going to be really, really good. But it just looks so... I don't even know. Like, Bishi for the girls, I think? Can't quite tell. It's a little hilarious. How, like, I would assume that this is gonna be like a big, serious action show, but just based on the main picture, it seems a little, I don't know, non-violent, I guess. We'll see. It might end up being a shocker. And yeah, as I mentioned before, Shokugeki no Soma, Food Wars Season 3. Obviously, I have not watched it, and I know it's a good show. Just like, yeah, just start on at Season 1. Not much to say. It's exactly, if you don't know Food Wars by now, then I can't help you. Next, you got Just Because, which sounds like one of the most generic of the season, in my opinion. Like, it looks like it's gonna have probably some really amazing art, but the description is, at the end of the second semester of 3rd year of high school, that's what it says, 4 students are prepared for graduation and feel the ending to their high school life. But that changes a little with the arrival of a transfer student. Okay, that's just about as generic as it gets. Also, so you're about to graduate from high school, and everything changes because a transfer student? Like, you're only gonna know the person for like a year at best. I don't know, it doesn't say where the transfer student's from, so I mean, if they're from Tokyo or they're just from somewhere else in Japan, then couldn't you just go hang out with them after school ends? Just gonna say that just because the anime is probably gonna be a little too generic. That's my guess. Now for my number one, the number one anime, I just can't wait to see. It's really the only one that I'm like crazy excited for. Like I'm gonna like March Comes In with Like a Lion season 2, but the next one is like it's gonna either be the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. And I'm gonna say it's the best because it's made by Mappa. It's called Inuyashiki. I'll just read the description because that's really all you need. Inuyashiki Ichiro is down on his luck. While only 58 years old, his geriatric looks often have him written off as a pathetic old man by the world around him, and he's constantly ignored and disrespected by his family despite all that he's done to support them. On top of everything else, his doctor has revealed that he has cancer, and it appears that he has little time left in this world. But just when it seems things couldn't get any worse, a blinding light in the night sky strikes the earth where Ichiro stands. He later wakes up to find himself unscathed, but he soon starts to notice that there's something different about himself. However, it turns out that these strange new changes are just what Ichiro needs to take a new lease on life, and now it seems like there's nothing to stop him from being a worthy whatever. So anyway, I thought they had a little bit more in this description. Basically, some 58-year-old guy becomes immortal, and I guess he tries to use his power for good. And this young kid also gets the power of immortality, and he wants to use his power for bad. Sounds a little generic, but then on top of it, you have this freaking amazing art picture of this old man and this young guy just fighting in midair. Just the old man just looks so intense that you just know it's just like this is gonna be either hilariously awesome or just epically awesome. It's some type of awesome. And even if the action somehow isn't good, I think it'd just be hilarious just to see an old guy fight like that. I wonder how again, I believe they're supposed to be immortal. So we'll see how that comes into the story. The most important thing about Inuyashiki is that I looked into it a little bit, and it's based off of a manga that's actually finished. So they're gonna actually do the whole story. So like an entire story about two immortal beings fighting for good and evil. Like it's a little generic, but hey, since it's gonna be a full story that we're gonna see, I think that it's for sure worth watching just on that alone. I mean, I can tell you, when it comes to the rest of the story, Food Wars isn't going to be over after this season. Black Clover is only starting and hopefully won't get much further than one season, I hope. Himoto Maru-chan, of course, still going. I don't know about some of these other ones. I'm pretty sure Kikai Sensen's going to have way more after this season. And yeah, pretty much everything else is just starting or it's not going to go anywhere like most series go. Nothing like truly spectacular this season, I'll admit. But overall, it's a good season to catch up on other shows even. I hope to have more content in the future. Watch One Piece, please, because it's a really good show. Watch Fate Apocrypha. It's either about to be really great or really horrible. And please watch Recreators. It is one of the worst anime I've ever seen. It must be seen to understand just how horrible it is. Disagree with me, please, and comment on this video.